Claire was always advanced with everything. I mean, she picked up on everything that you would talk to her about. She walked early. She started being creative at the age of 9 months. That was when I first gave her something to draw with. I honestly don't know of a day that has gone by where I haven't seen her drawing something. The first time I noticed something was out of character with Claire was when she was around 2. Claire has always been my baby, and I called her that for a really long time. I also call her Claire, too. But as she started getting more vocal and having conversations with us, she decided that she only wanted to be called baby. She did not want to be called Claire. She said it wasn't her name. She was pretty adamant about it. When she turned 3, she was very excited. That was her favorite number. She did not want to turn 4. She didn't want to get any older.
I saw Claire cry because she didn't want to be called Claire and because she didn't want to grow up. I mean, there was times where she was sobbing.
She said she did not want to grow up again. How do you deal with a child who doesn't want to grow up? What do you say to them? How do you help them through that? It was very frustrating to me, and it was disheartening. For a few years, everything was normal, and then something else happened. When Claire was around 8, we decided to take a trip to Texas to visit my sister. Claire was very excited about the trip at first. And then after I bought the tickets, she decided that she didn't want to get on that plane, and she did not want to go. She started telling me that she was afraid to fly. She was afraid to get on the plane. Claire had never flown in a plane before. I tried to talk to her about what it feels like to be on a plane. It feels like just like riding a bus, but it's very cool. You can see the clouds. She didn't care. I always considered Claire my risk taker. She would go to the top of the highest slide and be fine with it. About 2 weeks before the trip, when I was tucking her in bed, I decided to try again to have a discussion with Claire about being comfortable with flying. I asked her, what do you think the worst thing that would happen if we went on an airplane ride? When she finally talked to me about her true reason for being afraid to fly, I was overwhelmed. She started talking to me about the plane crashed through the side of the building.
I remember her telling me that Claire felt pretty adamant that she was in a building when a plane crashed.
She continued telling me that she saw a portion of that plane coming through the wall.
Could have been something she had seen because every year they replay something from September 11th.
I remembered back to when I was pregnant with Claire and the whole 9/11 incident, and I thought to myself, ooh, I wonder if she's remembering being a part of the whole 9/11 tragedy. For about 2 weeks, she continued telling me that she worked in an office in New York City, and I started writing everything she told me down. She was talking with emotion and like it was happening, it was very real to her. Claire described her hair as being red and wavy. She even remembered that she would often put it up in a bun. The way she described the outfit that she was wearing, it was sort of like a 1950s type of style, and I really restricted what they watched on TV. And so where would she have seen 1950s clothes to even describe them? She started talking to me about a fire within the office, people frantic, but then she didn't remember what happened next. It's almost as if she didn't want to remember. I had her start talking to me about the building itself, and I fully expected her to describe 2 buildings. I asked her, well, which building were you in? She told me it was the Empire State Building. I had never heard of a plane crashing into a building in New York City except for 9/11. I took my notes and walked downstairs to see what I could find out on the computer. But I just wanted to have verification or proof that something like that actually occurred. When I sat down to do research, I was shocked to find out that on July 28, 1945, there actually was a plane.
The disaster on 34th Street. An Army bomber lost in the overcast had crashed into the towering Empire State Building, parts of it blasting completely through the 79th floor and landing across the street. When a count was made, 3 crewmen were dead, as well as 10 persons working in the skyscraper. 25 persons were injured in a disaster that remains the most singular in New York City's history.
I was amazed to find that it really did happen. I realized this was more than just a story. She was remembering a past life. The year even matched the description of the clothes she had told me about.
It's not that I don't believe it. I have a hard time processing it.
I showed Claire what I found online the next day. It helped to validate what she remembered was real.
My name is Clarice. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm 12 years old. I remember my name Rose and that I had 2 children. I was working inside of a cubicle in the Empire State Building when the plane's wing crashed into my office. All I remember was the crash. The rest is fuzzy. I'm interested to know if I have any flashbacks from that time. Maybe understanding my past self would help me understand me in this life.
I am slightly hesitant that Claire may have some emotional reaction to her visit to the Empire State Building. I'm not sure what will come out of that. Claire and I are here in New York City. We're on 34th Street, which is just around the corner from the Empire State Building. We're gonna walk into the Empire State Building and we're gonna see if we can try to see the 79th floor, peek in, or just kind of get near to there. See how far we can get. Wherever you wanna go, sweetie, I'll follow you. See if there's a timeline, honey, somewhere.
There's no evidence of the crash.
We didn't find anything that would memorialize the deaths of those people involved in the 1945 crash. What do you think? You ready to look outside?
Being in the Empire State Building made me feel that I may have died there in the crash. If it was too small of an event, then I guess they wouldn't put it in there. But I was kind of surprised they didn't have anything about it. They don't have any history of the crash.
No, they don't.
None. Like, none.
Sucks, right?
Yeah.
Wonder why. It seems like it's not only forgotten, but almost sort of erased.
It still happened.
You can't erase the past.
There needs to be something. A lot of people don't know that it happened, but I do, and that's really special.
Even though we didn't find anything out today, it's highly possible that still more information will come to her because of having the experience that we did today. Hopefully we can do some more research and see if some names that she has remembered, whether it's Rose or Ann, come through with the research that we can find. The producers gave us a list of names to find out if anything resonates with you. You want to look through with me?
Sure.
Mary died during the crash. And we have Anna, and then here's another one, Patricia. Oh, this is a woman that fell down the elevator. And then here's Margaret.
The one who sounds most familiar is Anna Gerlach.
Yeah? Why do you feel that way?
Well, it says that she was Irish.
No, that makes sense then too, huh?
She was red hair. And her mother's name was Rose, too.
And you remembered Rose as a name. That's
The
what you
name
said.
Rose, the name Anne. It says she died instantly on impact. I found that I had actually died in the Empire State Building in the crash.
You feel like that might have happened to you?
Yeah. Because I have no memory of anything else.
And that's most likely why her memory of that lifetime just stops.
2 kids.
Everything that Claire told me really connected with Anna. The information that she remembered was true.
I honestly didn't know if I was going to find anyone in there that would relate to my memories, but I did, and it was perfect.
It's validation that you're not just like imagining this stuff. Not only did it give her healing, there's proof that it was real.
I'm really tired from the day, but it's nice to put the pieces of the puzzle together and find out who I was in the end.